So we're outside for reasons because we fired up the old grill and we are going to cook chicken with a very special ingredient.
Our host, Bill Collins, our personal chef. I called you a host. You're just
I
here
like
so
that.
often.
Thank you. Host the show sometime, though.
Sure.
Either way, he's here to help us make some chicken with one very special metallic ingredient.
Yes, absolutely. We're using a can of beer. Beer can chicken. It's been around for at least a decade or so, and not everybody realizes how easy it is to do. And you really just need 3 ingredients. You need a dry rub. You can buy a dry rub, but it is so easy to make a dry rub. You need a whole chicken, and you need a can of beer. One thing about the can of beer, some people don't like to cook with beer or to cook with alcohol. That's fine. You can use a seltzer, you can use a soda, anything you want.
As long as it comes in a can.
As long as it comes in a can.
Not a plastic bottle.
Not a plastic bottle, not a glass bottle.
Oh, no.
Why is all of this?
Well, you don't want plastic because it can melt, and you don't want glass because it can break.
Oh, well, there you go.
No one
Everything
likes
you
eating
don't want
glass
in your
shards.
chicken.
If you don't want in your chicken. So now, and I'll get to the why the beer can itself is so good and effective in doing this. Now, I mentioned to start with a dry rub. This dry rub, salt and pepper, brown sugar, paprika, and a little bit of cumin. And the thing about brown sugar is actually the key ingredient here because I'm gonna rub it all over the skin, and on the grill it's gonna caramelize and make it a little bit crispier, make it a little bit sweet, so you can have even a better crispier
So
skin.
that's why I use the brown sugar to crisp it up a little.
And that's why you find brown sugar in so many grilling rubs, because that also not just sweetens it, but it's got the caramelizing, which
And
helps
it gives
make
it that
crispier.
pretty color,
It really does.
that
So
professional look.
that's exactly what we're going for here, because not only does it taste great, it's going to look great.
That's important too. So is it just as easy as slathering it on your chicken?
Yes, and actually this is one of those things that's properly named. We're just rubbing it on.
So
And
there's nothing else that goes on. There's no oil or butter or anything like
nope,
that?
nope.
Just dive right in with the dry rub.
Right, exactly. Now,
Now,
yes.
Bill, sometimes someone told me once to pierce the skin of the chicken and put things like butter pads or garlic or things inside. Do you need to get any of that rub inside the chicken?
If there's any left over, and there often is, you can pour it into the cavity. So it's entirely up to you, because you can never have too much flavor.
But it's easy. You don't need to pierce the skin and kind of embed something inside of it.
You don't have to do that, because moistness is not a problem with this chicken, and I'll show you why in just a sec. See, we do have a little left over.
There we go. Just throw it in the cavity.
Might as well just toss it in.
Right in there.
Because since we're grilling, this is not finesse fine French cuisine. This is
Quick and dirty.
quick and dirty. So now here's the next part. You've got the chicken, got the dry rub. A half of can of beer, not a whole can. So whatever you do with the other half is entirely up to you.
We're not
That's your
condoning. You
choice.
can do whatever you want with a can of beer. I know what I would do with it.
Well, yeah, and some people actually drink it. I'm shocked.
No way.
Really? So here's what you do, and but not usually at before 11 in the morning.
No, of course not. Yeah, no
It-
morning drinking.
And so here's what you do. This is the odd part. You take your can of beer
And you stand it up.
And you stand up the chicken, and you've got the cavity of the chicken.
Okay.
And then you push it right into.
No, it doesn't look pretty.
And the chicken's somewhere saying ouch. So, but what you also want to do though is you want to take the 2 legs.
Yeah.
And
So it's like a little tripod.
that's my exact words, because if you just had it without the tripod, it would easily tip over, because you've got different width grates on grills, and so it's very easy for it to knock over. So this way, a lot of people don't do it until they get to the grill. I say take a sheet pan, because you've got all the when you put all the dry rub on anyway, make sure it can stand up before you put it on the grill. You don't want to find out over a hot grill and it's sizzling that it's teetering over.
And then you're
business
having to
going
deal
out.
with it. Yeah, that's a mess waiting to happen.
Exactly, and that's why it's especially good. As you know, I like to wear gloves when I'm handling raw chicken and things, because if you have to do something quickly, or if your child calls you and you get a nanosecond to respond, off come the gloves, you can go do what you need to do.
Especially if you're outside grilling too, because a lot of times you're going to have to run, get the kid out of the pool, get the ball out of the tree.
Absolutely, and you don't want to take the chicken with you. So,
Now, how do we get it from the pan to the grill?
well, see, this way, once you've stabilized it, once you know that it's not going to go anywhere, kind of actually give it kind of a little push around, make sure it's fine. You just pick it up, and we're going to
And
walk
I'll
right
get out of
behind
your
you.
way.
Bring it on over.
And now this is what we call indirect heating. And what that means is, first of all, you make sure you stand it up. You've got the heat on one side of the grill. And what that means is, I'm going to take the gloves off. That means that the heat is here, there's no heat there. There's plenty of heat coming up. If you do what's called direct heating, where you put the chicken right on top of the fire, the chicken's going to burn. Every time it's going to be tough and it's going to burn. And you don't want to do that.
And a quick note too, if you're using a charcoal grill, you want to lump all the coal on this side so you get the indirect heat over here.
Absolutely, yep. That's exactly what you want to do.
And now, we're running out of time, but roughly how long is this going to take on the grill?
It's going to take about an hour and a quarter,
Okay.
maybe an hour and a half, depending, your chicken size may vary. But I like to rotate the chicken, so turn it, every 15 minutes or so, because it's going to be browning on the side facing the heat. So you want it to be lid down.
Close your lid.
Close the lid.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and exactly walk out every 15 minutes to check it out, and you'll be fine.
Well, Bill, thank you so much. We're going to check
Thank
in
you.
with you a little bit later on in the show. But people outside this time of year, everyone gets nervous about their skin wrinkling. You ever feel that way?
Yes, but you know what? The best anti-aging cream has been around forever.
It might just surprise you. It's on any store shelf you find. It's sunscreen, and Erica Edwards has more.